What's up, guys? I got a fresh out of the editor podcast for you. I'm your host, Soujyo, for Game Advisors TV. So, have you been looking for ways to up your game? Well, you're in luck. This video is the start of a series that I'll be bringing you weekly for every map in Black Ops. So let's get started. On your screen now is a bird's eye view of the map array, and I've divided it up into 3 sections consisting of tower, dish, and cliff. Keep these in mind as we progress along here. I'll be using them as reference points later on to describe locations in the video. The first area I'll be going over is tower, and as the screen changes to an overhead view, you'll be seeing some overlays pop up. Yellow is used to point out areas of high traffic. There's a good chance you'll run into an enemy passing through one of these areas, so you'll want to be ready to engage upon entering them. After that, a green indicator will show good defensive locations, which are areas that I use to lock down high traffic zones. Okay, so I'm going to bring in the video now. Alright, so here we have the overhead view of tower side. You'll see me coming in just a second on the bottom of the screen here, and on the right hand side you'll get first person view of what's going on. Now I'm going to quickly jump into one of these defensive locations, and to use them effectively you need to make sure that there's less angles for them to shoot at you as there are you to shoot at them. So basically, you want a barrier or something that you can use to block bullets in case somebody's shooting at you. It's pretty simple stuff, but it's really important that you remember it. If you're out in the open, you're just an easy target. Moving on to one of my personal favorites is the dish zone. This area is usually packed full of people, and you can just rack up a ton of kills. It's exceptionally easy to get a kill streak going here if you're utilizing the correct areas. I'm going to start off by showing you the areas of high traffic, and then I'll show you my personal favorite spot for getting a ton of frags. It's usually a high volume spawn area for the enemy team. Now keep in mind this tends to be a CTF specific spawn, but it has worked well for me in the past in general. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and queue up the video again, and I'll give you some details on what's happening. Alright, like last time we got an overhead view, only this time we'll also include an additional overhead view just to make it a little more clear where the spot is. It's using these barrels right here underneath the dish to basically spawn camp. It's really effective at locking this area down. You can see on the right hand side in the little doorway where there's these back alley steps, as well as over into the spawn. Now as you see here, I get a little overzealous at shooting the enemy and I don't watch my back. Luckily a chopper saved me. Now as we move on to the last spot of the map here, it's appropriately named Cliff, and it has probably the second highest traffic altogether on the map. If you haven't guessed it, it's overlay time again. And like the other times, yellow is traffic and green areas are a great place to shoot the crap out of anybody running through them. Alright, so I'm going to start the video now. Hey, surprise, surprise, we got an overhead view again. This time there's only going to be a first person to go along with it. But you're going to see as I come out of the garage here, I'm going to make use of all 3 areas I pointed out on the map to make a progressive push forward. Now all 3 could be used individually as a way to kind of hold that side of the map down anyways, but if you want to make a push up to the furthest one, it's a great way to do it, or potentially get in there and get a flag cap. It's a good way to do that without getting yourself killed, and you'll see here in a second that I can just keep mowing down another spawn point on the map. So if you're looking for a way to get a lot of frags on the map array, use any one of these 3 spots I was just going over. They all have strengths and weaknesses. Some have a little more traffic, some are a little more exposed. It really depends on what your play style is. You know, if you think you can watch your back effectively, then I would pick an area that has a lot of traffic. You'll get a lot more kills. Others have a little less traffic going on, but they're a little more protected and a little less likely you're going to get shot in the back. So it's really up to your personal preference. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm your host, Soujyo, and after all this talk about Black Ops, I've got to go get some kills. So have fun out there, guys.